So you want to find out if it's worth paying 70 hard bones for Modern Warfare 2, and to be honest with you guys, that answer will depend on yourself. Before we get any further into today's video, I just want to give a huge thank you to all of the support on the last video I made. Never in a million years did I expect a channel with 12 subs and like 35 views to put something out like this, so guys, that is incredible. Thank you all so much for the support. It really does mean everything to me. With that being said, there was one comment in particular that kind of stuck out to me, and this is not a dig at you, Caffrey, by any means necessary. In fact, I just wanted to make a full video response to your comment just to kind of give my opinion on this take here. So Caffrey commented on the last video saying, if you keep buying the games, they're never going to make changes. And while that is true, you gotta remember at the end of the day, Activision is a business, alright? There's a bunch of big boys and big boy suits over there, and their job is to make as much money as possible. And I hate to say this, and by no means necessary am I supporting this, but that's why we have seen skill-based matchmaking be incredibly ramped up in the last few Call of Duties. They're trying to improve player retention, alright? The more someone plays a game, the more likely they're willing to spend money on it. However, if you don't buy the game, then Activision is going to suffer, and they'll have to make changes in order to compensate. That way they can continue to drive sales on their game. Not exactly. You see, that's where I'm different, alright? Listen, I support Blame Truth. I support 8 Thoughts. I think what they're doing is good for the community. I think they're good dudes, like just trying to make games good again, you know what I'm saying? You see, this is where I'm just a little bit different. I guess you could say I agree to disagree. And what I mean by that is, look at Infinity Ward's most recent tweet, alright? If you don't buy the game, I respect what you're doing. However, for every one person that does not buy Call of Duty, there's probably 20, 30, 50, 100 people that are getting into the franchise this year. The tweet says, thank you, Call of Duty players. Together, you've made Modern Warfare 2 beta the biggest Call of Duty beta ever, and we're only getting started. Prepare for early campaign access and the global launch on October 28th. I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. When I saw this tweet, I had that vein in my forehead popping, dude. I was pissed. I was like, are you kidding me right now? Because you know what that says? You know what this tweet right here signifies to Infinity Ward? Fellas, we got this under control. All these idiots out there think they need red dots, they need quieter footsteps. No, that's not what they need at all. What they need is to shut the hell up and listen to us, because clearly we know best. And obviously, I'm speaking in terms of an Infinity Ward employee there, mostly Mr. Joe Shecott. So again, after reading that tweet, I bring up Caffrey's comment again, and if you keep buying the games, they're never going to make changes. Again, this is not a dig at Caffrey himself, but here's what I want you guys to understand, and I know I'm a small channel. What the fuck does this idiot know? He doesn't know anything. Here's what I do know, and that is, if you don't buy this game, you can miss out all you want. You can go try to play other games, but at the end of the day, if you are on YouTube watching Call of Duty, you care enough about the franchise that you don't want it to die, but you don't want to leave it either. You know how many people I see on Twitter and how many friends I've had say, that's it, I'm done. I am so done with Activision and their stupid skill-based matchmaking, just for them to come back next year, 2 years, 3 years later when they release a different Call of Duty. Anyways, let's bring this video full circle here, alright, fellas? Come on, come in here with me, alright? I don't think not purchasing Call of Duty is the move anymore. It's just simply not. Remember when we tried to boycott the Battle Pass back in Cold War? How well did that work out for us? What, did we even put a dent in Activision's pocket? Hell, they probably didn't even notice. Let's say collectively all the Call of Duty YouTubers come together and everyone unites and no one buys Call of Duty. Be realistic with yourself here, fellas. Don't cheat yourself, don't cheat me. How much money do you think Activision is really missing out on there? I'll even be a little generous here. I don't think it actually ever reached this number, but let's say 1 million people skip buying Call of Duty this year. You may think that's putting a pretty big dent in Activision's pocketbook, but realistically speaking, 30 million people supposedly bought Modern Warfare 2019. Who's not to say at this point they're not going to sell 36 million? And don't get it twisted, I mean, a movement of 1 million people not buying a video game just because of skill-based matchmaking, I mean, that's huge in terms of like what the community could do. But think of it from Activision, Bobby Billionaire's mindset, right? Yeah, you missed out on 1 million sales, but guess what? You still sold 29 million copies. And we all know Call of Duty doesn't make its actual revenue from initial sales anyways. They really don't. Hell, why do you think the game's on sale for $30 at Black Friday? You think it's because no one's buying the game? No, it's to get people in the game at a lower price point. That way, they spend money on a $30 skin. 2 skins, hell, even like 1.5 skins. They buy a character skin and then they buy like a camo for a gun. They're back at $60. Anyways, the whole point that I'm trying to make here is that when Activision sells you the video game, they're not making money on that, all right? They're really just breaking even. Where Call of Duty and Activision have seen exponential growth in sales is their in-game revenue. Microtransactions and DLC is literally how they make all their money nowadays. So in my opinion, if you really want to stick it to Activision and you want to just shove your middle fingers up Bobby Billionaire's butthole, the best way to do it is go ahead, buy the game, play the game, but don't spend any money on microtransactions. It's literally that simple. Again, this video is not meant to be a jab at anyone, blame Truth, Caffrey, like no one. Video is not targeted at anyone in specific. It's just a community as a whole. I feel like we have this idea of if we don't buy the game, we're really going to show Activision, and in my opinion is just different than that. I'm looking at it from a business standpoint. I mean, think of it this way. Let's say I give you $36,000 for being my best friend, and you best be a damn good best friend if I'm giving you 36K. But let's say I do, and then I'm like, oh, I forgot I got to pay for gas. Can I have 1,000 of that back? Yeah, you can have 1,000 back. I'll keep 35 million for myself. Or excuse me, 36,000. Either way, the comparison is relatively similar, and I'm sure you guys get it. Even if you don't buy the game, you don't buy the battle pass, you don't buy any microtransactions or DLC, Infinity Ward just put out the numbers that this has been the best beta Call of Duty's ever made, and the numbers are there to prove it. That alone will tell you enough to say, I don't think we're going to see red dots on the minimap or quieter footsteps anytime soon. I'm sure a lot of you will disagree with me in the comment section and say if you give them even a dime of your hard-earned money, then you're not even like making any progress at that point. Well, I just simply disagree. I just do. And if you don't believe me, every YouTuber, Twitch streamer, whoever is telling you to not buy the game is also buying it themselves and then making content on the game and then streaming it. So who's really at fault here? You tell me. Anyways, you guys will have to let me know your opinion down in the comments section below. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it, and I will catch y'all next time. Later.